Welcome back to Tales from the Creepy Stories. Today we have a terrifying tale called The Shadows of Hollow Creek. So sit back, turn down the lights, and get ready to be scared. If you enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more creepy stories. Let's begin. In the small, secluded town of Hollow Creek, there was an old, abandoned mansion that no one dared to enter. The townspeople spoke of dark shadows and eerie whispers that surrounded the mansion, especially on moonless nights. A young journalist named Michael decided to investigate the mansion for a story. Michael had short brown hair, sharp green eyes, and always wore a leather jacket and jeans. He carried a camera and a notebook, ready to uncover the secrets of Hollow Creek. One evening, just before midnight, Michael arrived at the mansion. The iron gates were rusty and creaked loudly as he pushed them open. The mansion loomed over him, its windows like empty eyes watching his every move. Michael felt a chill run down his spine, but pressed on. Inside, the mansion was dark and filled with cobwebs. The air was thick with dust, and the wooden floors creaked under Michael's feet. He took out his flashlight, the beam cutting through the darkness, revealing long hallways and closed doors. As Michael explored, he heard faint whispers. The voices seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. He followed the sound to a grand staircase that led to the upper floors. As he climbed, the whispers grew louder, and the air grew colder. At the top of the stairs, Michael found a series of portraits lining the walls. They depicted stern-looking men and women from centuries past, their eyes seemingly following him. One portrait in particular caught his attention. A woman with dark hair and piercing blue eyes, her expression one of sorrow and fear. Suddenly, a door at the end of the hallway creaked open. Michael approached cautiously, his heart pounding. Inside, he found an old library filled with dusty books and ancient artifacts. In the center of the room was a large, ornate mirror covered with a thick layer of dust. As Michael wiped the dust from the mirror, he saw a shadowy figure standing behind him. He spun around, but the room was empty. When he looked back at the mirror, the figure was gone. The whispers returned, louder and more insistent. Determined to find the source of the voices, Michael continued exploring the mansion. He entered a bedroom where the bed was neatly made, as if someone had just left. On the bedside table, there was an old, leather-bound diary. Michael opened the diary and began to read. It belonged to the woman in the portrait, who wrote about strange occurrences and her growing fear of the shadows in the mansion. She spoke of a curse placed on her family, and how the shadows would claim anyone who entered the mansion. As Michael read, the room grew colder, and the shadows seemed to gather around him. He heard footsteps approaching, slow and deliberate. He looked up to see the shadowy figure from the mirror standing in the doorway, its form dark and indistinct. With his heart racing, Michael backed away, but the figure moved closer. He stumbled and fell, dropping the diary. The figure loomed over him, and the whispers grew into a cacophony of voices. Just as the figure reached out to him, Michael snapped a photo with his camera, the flash lighting up the room. The figure vanished, and the whispers stopped. Michael scrambled to his feet and ran out of the mansion, never looking back. He left Hollow Creek the next day, vowing never to return. I hope you enjoyed The Shadows of Hollow Creek. If you did, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Let me know in the comments if you've ever experienced something paranormal. Thanks for watching. Remember, stay curious but be careful. Until next time, stay safe and keep exploring the unknown.